This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello and welcome to Six Figure Dog Business. I'm your host, Ty Brown of TyTheDogGuy.com. Now, Six Figure Dog Business is a show here on PetLifeRadio.com where we help you start or grow your pet-related business to a healthy six-figure per year or more income. Now, today I'm going to be interviewing myself again. Been getting a lot of good ideas because we're playing around with a lot of stuff at work. I'm doing a lot less training these days, and I'm becoming much more of the marketing manager at our company. And so we're playing around with stuff, and I want to kind of share those results and what that looks like with you guys. And so that's what we're going to be working on today. Now, today's show is going to be about how to sell big ticket group classes. Now, this is primarily geared towards dog trainers, but you can take these same concepts and you could apply them if you're a dog walker. I could see ways to apply them as a dog groomer, pet sitter. So there's ways to apply these exact same concepts because what we're talking about is selling a big ticket item. And so no matter what kind of business you're in, I think this is something that you could find that would help you. So stay right with us. We're going to come back with big ticket group sessions.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause.
Do you own a pet care business? Do you need help training and retaining your staff? Fetch Find Monthly Pro is the perfect platform for you. Fetch Find Monthly Pro is a monthly subscription with unlimited users, no contracts, and fresh content every week. With increased employee engagement, higher customer satisfaction, and lower risk and liability, Fetch Find Monthly Pro pays for itself. And you can completely customize the training materials based on your company's needs. Head over to www.fetchfind.com to learn more and subscribe today. That's FETCHFIND.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
All right, we're back. Again, this is Ty Brown with Six Figure Dog Business on PetLifeRadio.com, and I'm thrilled you're here today because we're talking about big ticket group sales. Now, I preface this in the beginning of the show that I'm talking mostly to dog trainers here, but if you're not a dog trainer, I don't want you to tune out because the reality is I study so much. Like so much of the marketing people that I study, they're not dog trainers. They're chiropractors, they're doctors, they're dentists, they are in real estate, they're in car sales, they're, whatever they're in, marketing principles are marketing principles. Now, this just happens to be around dog training, but if you're in a different industry, pet sitting, dog walking, grooming, veterinarian, whatever, if you're in a different industry, you can take some of these same principles and you can apply them. So I want you to listen anyways. And because I'm selfish, I want more downloads. I want those big numbers. We have like tens of thousands, I think over 100,000 listens per month. And so I want big numbers. So whoever you are, listen to this show. You're going to enjoy it. But here's the thing. I've never done group classes for my dog training company. Way back when I was a 14-year-old kid, that's how I got my start in dog training, was I worked for a dog trainer and he did private sessions and stuff like that, but he also did group classes. And that's where I primarily helped with him. So I kind of cut my teeth in the dog training world, going to these group classes as a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid on Saturdays and Tuesday evenings and stuff like that, and helping out and starting to teach and learning and observing and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's where I got my start, but that was over 20 years ago. And since then, with my own company, I've never really done group classes. And the reason why is because I didn't like the results that I saw. I mean, most of our clients had done, group classes. And maybe if you're a dog trainer, you've heard this before, like, oh yeah, we went and did these group classes and now my dog will sit if you have a treat in your hand. And so like these people, will go to 6 weeks of classes, they'll pay $180 and the dog will sit for a treat in their hand. And I always joked with people that like, hey, if all you wanted was your dog to sit when you have a treat in your hand, give me 5 minutes and give me $180 and I'll teach you how to do that. But that's kind of been my experience with most group classes is that's what people do. They go off to group classes, they spend a few bucks, and their dog sits if you have a treat and maybe comes if there's a treat and no distractions and things like that. And so I was never really thrilled with what I saw as the results that people were getting from group classes. And so I wanted, I didn't want anything to do with it. So I never really did them. But, I want to say, a little while ago, we decided to try it. And we've now done a few rounds of group classes, and we're getting, the main gist of this here is we're getting $900 per client. Now, I don't know much about group classes other than like the Petco or the PetSmart group classes that, like I say, are $150 or whatever those are. So I don't know much about group classes, so I didn't know that $900 was considered a lot until I mentioned it to another dog trainer. They're like, whoa, that's a lot of money for a group class. How are you able to do that? And I went on, I put this on a Facebook group and I said, hey, is this of interest to you guys? Like how much do your group classes go for? And I found that, there was a range, but it seemed like most group classes were $200, $300, $400. And so, not that I think that this information is the be all end all and you must follow this exact formula, but it seems to me that $900 is 2, 3, 4, 5 times more expensive than the group classes are out there. And so I wanted to share with people how we're able to do that, how we're able to get $900 per group class, and what should be going up to about $1,000 here in not too long is I figure we do 1 or 2 more rounds and we'll probably bump that up to $1,000. And so I sat down and I did 5 categories of things that I believe is why we're able to fill a $900 per person group class. And pretty quick, usually within a day or two, we've got it full of announcing it. So let me get right into it. Hopefully you're taking notes because gosh darn it, when I talk, people should write down notes. That's what I always think. I'm like, why are people not following me now with a notebook? Everything that comes out of my mouth is pure gold. And that's probably not the case. But this is some good stuff. So hopefully you learned some good stuff here. So number 1, have a signature program. So again, I'm talking about how we're able to sell a $900 group class. Step number 1 is have a signature program. Now, when I say a signature program, I think that a lot of people have kind of done that, but a signature program is best if it communicates something specific. So let me give you an example here. I've seen a lot of dog trainers that name their program, and so they have quote unquote a signature program, but what's the name of it? It's Fantastic Fido, or it's the Awesome Dog Program, or whatever. And whatever, I'm not making fun of names or anything, but what I am saying is Fantastic Fido doesn't communicate anything. There's no benefit there. There's no understanding of a problem. There's no payout. It's just a name, and so there's no benefit in Fantastic Fido or Awesome Dog or whatever other name that you come up with for something like that. So for example, our program is called Transform Your Dog in 60 Days. So TYD 60. Now, Transform Your Dog is somewhat vague. I mean, there's some vagueness there because that means something to different people. Now, we make that up in our copywriting. So when we send out emails and the copywriting on our website and in our videos and things like that describes what Transform Your Dog means, because in our Transform Your Dog in 60 Days program, we want to appeal to people with dog aggression, to people who have bad manners for their dogs, whose dogs don't have off-leash obedience and stuff like that. And so we want to appeal to a bit of a group there, a bit of a range. And so that's why we call it Transform Your Dog, because it's specific enough that, hey, here's what we're doing, but it's general enough to kind of grab different types of people. And then again, like I say, we make it up in other parts and we communicate what Transform Your Dog means. But the other thing that's good about this is there's a timeline. We say, hey, in 60 days, we can transform your dog. Now, I've had some criticism there, like, what if this, what if that? The bottom line is if you can't transform a dog in 60 days as a dog trainer, you might need a different career. And I don't mean that as a jerk. No, think of me as a jerk. I don't care. If you can't see big results in 60 days, you might be in the wrong, profession. Now, 60 days is just, some people are like, 60 days? That's nothing. I can do it in 2 weeks or I can do it in 4 weeks. I don't care. What I'm saying here is the fact that there's a fairly clear promise that's made very clear in the content, in the text, in the copywriting, that there's a fairly clear promise with a very clear timeline makes for a signature program. So ours, like I say, we're looking to get a decent spectrum of people. Maybe you've got a signature program for aggression, so 7 weeks to being aggression free. Maybe yours is about puppies. Maybe your signature program is whatever that benefit is, whatever people want, like house trained in a week or a completely trained puppy in 4 months. I don't know. Like I'm just kind of spitballing stupid stuff now. But, not everything has to have that timeline. If the promise is big enough, it doesn't necessarily have to have a timeline. But I like that timeline. I tried so many things for so many years. We came up with the TYD60 program about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And it's been huge for our company because, like I say, it's a specific promise with a specific timeline. And so that is what creates a signature program. What am I going to do for you? Fantastic Fido doesn't explain what I'm going to do for you. Transform Your Dog in 60 Days by itself doesn't explain, but at least there's this promise and there's a timeline there. We have one program. That's it. We sell our Transform Your Dog in 60 Days program. That's it. Maybe you've got 2 or 3. You've got an aggression one, you've got a puppy one. I don't know. You really don't want a lot because a lot is spreading yourself thin. You really want to dig deep into 1 or 2 niches. People say that different. I don't know. I've heard it both ways. But anyways, you really want to dig in and you want to create a program and you want to name it, something that conveys a benefit. So that's the first part of your signature program. Number 2, for selling high ticket group programs, is you want to display success with that program already. And so we didn't start with a group class, a high ticket group class with Transform Your Dog in 60 Days. We rolled out the program. We started doing it one-on-one. And then once we had some killer testimonials and we had some proof that this works, now, we've got a signature program and we've got people raving about it. So this is important. Those 2 things are important for having a signature program. And then the third thing is make sure it's specific and step-by-step. Now, this is going to be tough for some dog trainers or people in other professions, and this might actually make it so that some dog trainers don't even try this. Because I know that some dog trainers look at every dog and they're like, all right, we're going to go at it this way. And then this dog, we're going to go at it this way. And that dog, we're going to go at it that way. And I have no problem with that. If that's how you like to do things, that's fine. There's obviously a problem with that, is that it becomes very difficult to teach your method. So if you ever want to hire people, if you ever want to grow, it's very difficult. And it's very difficult to have a promise for people to know what's coming. If every dog is so different and this dog might take 5 sessions, that dog might take 32, and this dog is going to be 2 sessions or whatever, it's very difficult to convey what you can do. Now, we came up with the TYD60 program realizing that about 90%, 80 to 90% of what we do is the same with every dog. House training, aggression, like so much of it is getting proper obedience and getting this structure and getting this relationship and blah, blah, blah. And then we work on the house training or the aggression or whatever. And so we found that we can make a step-by-step program that's predictable, that needs customization for each dog, but needs 10 to 20% customization. If you're looking to customize 80 to 90% with each dog, you're going to be reinventing the wheel, stepping on your own toes, and making it so much more difficult for you to help more people. Bottom line is, if you have a system for your signature program, you're going to be able to help more people, which is cool. So, step number 1, have a signature program. Those are the 3 things that kind of help you there. Step number 2, when you're trying to sell high ticket group, is have things that create more value. Maybe they take a little bit of time or a little bit of money, but that they create more value. So for us, this is our biggest expense, is training equipment. And so we give about $150, what costs us $150 of training equipment. An e-collar, prong collar. We'll also give a long line and a treat bag, but those are like $2 a piece. I get those from China. I'm not telling you where, but I get them super cheap from China. So anyways, we give about $150 worth of equipment. So out of $900, about, $750 goes towards the training. But that's huge because it's $300 worth of equipment and it's time that they save and not having to go try to find it. And I'm not sending them links, hey, buy this collar and, and buy this long line and buy this and blah, blah, blah. So for us, we include that training equipment. That's just added value. Because what we want to do is we want to get people, I'm going to talk about this here in a second. So anyways, we want added value. Training equipment can be one of those. What about aftercare? And so we've already got built into our whole company is all of our trainers. We've got 7 trainers. Once a month, they do a group session. And so it's an hour out of their time. But now, boom, we've got a ton of group sessions that people can come to maintain their training. And so that aftercare is really valuable to people. And it takes us almost nothing. 7 hours of payroll is nothing. If you're a single practitioner, I started doing this as a solopreneur, and I would do 2 a month. And so 2 hours a month was nothing. I just counted that as a loss, 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. And so it was nothing, but it's a lot of value to those people, because if they know that once or twice a month or 7 times a month or whatever it is, they can drop in for classes to make sure that they can always maintain their training, that's huge peace of mind knowing that they're going to have your help weeks, months, years from now. And so that aftercare component of group classes is important. And maybe your aftercare is different. Maybe you do, I've done things like monthly webinars where you jump on with your questions, or monthly teleseminars where you jump on with your questions, or email support or phone support. So what is the aftercare? What is other things that you can put in there so that you can bulk this program up, but it really is stuff that you were doing anyways. You were already doing these group classes, or you were already giving email support. Well, let's make sure that as you're presenting this program that you're bulking it up with that stuff. I like to make sure that we can put something in their hands. So we've got a DVD program. Do you have a DVD program? If the answer is no, why not? So many people have they're like, well, I've got 4 hours of YouTube videos. All right, put that on a DVD. I don't know, get something out there that's your name, your brand, your stamp, your picture, your ugly mug on there. Why not? What about a book? Have you written a book? Why not? You probably haven't written a book because you're allergic to money and you hate money. That's the only reason why someone this day and age wouldn't write a book, because you can write a book in a week. You can get out there so easy. The barrier to getting a book out there is so easy. But you can put that little thing in their hand that cost you 80 cents to print, and it's the biggest thing in the world to them. I had a woman today, she came into our training center and she saw me walk through. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. I have your book. I've seen your videos. And oh my, she was getting her dog groomed. And I'm like, lady, I work here. I'm here all the time. She's like, it's just so cool to finally meet you. And I'm like, obviously, I'm not a celebrity or even close, but the fact that she'd seen my face on a book and on my DVDs was big. That was big to her. Doing those things is so easy. The only reason you don't do them is because you hate money. So stop hating money. Do a DVD, do a book, something. What about a pamphlet that goes with each week of the class, that every week you're putting something in their hot little hand, or a workbook, or some sort of, accountability thing. Something that goes in their hand. People like to hold things, that have value to them. And those things don't have to cost any money. My book costs 80 cents. My entire DVD course costs $16. So $16 when I'm, making 900 isn't a big deal. Yeah. So what can you bulk it up with? Printed things. What's related that you could add? Do you do once a month nutrition seminar? Can you do a nutrition seminar, put it on a DVD? Do you do once a month tricks course? Can you put that on a DVD? Can you give them a coupon for grooming, that you get from your groomer friend who is also giving out your coupons or whatever? What are things that you can do to bulk it up? Because if you're like, hey, here's 8 sessions, it's $1,000. Probably not. But if you're like, hey, it has this and this and this and this and this in it, suddenly people are thinking about the whole package value rather than, hey, how much am I paying per session? Whoa, I'm paying $100 per session. That's crazy. So yeah, anyways, think about what you can do to bulk up the value. Now, I've got 3 more categories. I realize I'm talking fast and I'm taking a long time here. I usually try to get these done in a half hour. Hopefully I don't go too long today. But I want you to stick right with me because we're going to do a quick little ad here. But when we come back, I'm going to give you the other 3 components of selling big ticket group classes.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause.
Ew, get the stinky dog away from me.
Bad breath and bad gas. Petey stopped eating. All his hair fell out.
Itching, licking, missing fur.
At least $5,000 in vet bill.
Creams, antibiotics, sprays.
No results.
Everything we tried failed except the Dinovite. DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa. The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The shedding is stopped and the itching is stopped.
Her coat is not soft, it's silky, it's
healthy and shiny and glossy.
She's got life, she's got energy.
Tons of energy, no more bad smell.
Dinovite's the bomb.
Dinovite is the best thing that's ever happened to my dogs, besides me, of course.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
All right, we're back. So we're talking about how to sell big ticket group classes, how we sell them for $900, soon to be $1,000. Number 1, have a signature program. Number 2, create added value beyond just the classes. What other things can you give them that aren't too difficult for you to do, but create a lot of perceived value for them? Number 3, have exclusivity. So we don't put it on the website. Our group classes don't go on the website. We only do it every couple months. And so you could obviously do it more often than that. but we don't put it on the website. And so as a result, it's exclusive. We only launch it in certain dates. And so I think, what are we going to do, about once a quarter or something like that? And so once a quarter, we're going to do this group class. And so, gosh, if you missed it, it's going to be a while before you get it again. And we only have a certain amount of seats. So we want to create exclusivity, because if it's just this running group class that we do all the time, it's just the same as everybody else's. So create exclusivity. Even if there's not a lot of exclusivity, create some somehow. All right, number 4, positioning. When I present this, when I launch my group class, I let people know this isn't for everyone. In my copy, the way that I sell it is through email. And so I'll email people like, hey, this isn't for everyone, but for the people that it's for, it's amazing. And we position it as like, this is really unique what we're doing. And it has to be, because they can go anywhere and get a group class for $150 or $200. Now, of course, they're not going to come anywhere near what we're doing. But if I'm positioning it, here's a group class, they have a group class, they have a group class, then all it sounds like is, hey, these are $200 things. And so I position it like, this is exclusive. This is not for everyone. In fact, I write things like, hey, this is a group format. So there's going to be other people there, which means I'm going to push you harder. I'm going to expect certain things out of you. I'm going to expect you in between sessions to work your butt off. And if you don't, I'm going to kick you out. In fact, I've written that every single time. I'm like, I will kick you out and keep your money. And I'm putting that in writing. So you had better work hard at this. Now, to go along with the positioning, I'm selling a result. Now, this goes back to having a signature program. If what you're selling is dog training, you're in trouble, because everyone else is selling dog training. You need to be selling a result. We don't sell dog training at my company. We sell freedom from aggression. We sell off-leash ability. We sell no more chewing in the house. We sell your rugs aren't getting ruined by dog crap anymore. You're selling a result. Now, in order to do this and sell this, you need to learn copywriting. That is huge for how I sell these things. Because like I say, everyone's selling classes that you're just supposed to do. So almost like so many people get a dog and they're like, let me go find a group class. And if that's their mentality, like, let me get a dog and find a group class, they're never going to buy a $900 program. The only people that buy a $900 program are people that have problems that need solutions. Now, the problem might be aggression. The problem might be off-leash obedience. The problem might be, I want my puppy to grow up so good and I'm worried that I'm going to screw him up. The problem could be a variety of things, but you're selling the solution to that problem. You're not selling group classes, because they can get group classes everywhere. If you're going to sell big ticket classes, you have to be selling a result. And when people say, oh, well, this company has basic, intermediate, and advanced, that's not a result. They're just thinking, I'm doing this because it's fun. I'm doing this because that's what I should do. And it's $100 a class. And there's nothing, well, I shouldn't say there's nothing wrong with that. It depends. Sometimes there's something wrong with that because you're killing yourself for low money. But let's say you're making decent money and that's what you want to do, then that's great. I have no problem with that type of group class. But what I'm talking about here is big ticket group classes. Now, the reason I do big ticket group classes is because all of my training is big ticket. And so our boot camp is big ticket. Our private sessions are big ticket because I want to be known for only getting big results. I don't want to be the basic guy. There's other companies that do that and that's fine. They go in and out of business. They make little money. I want to be the guy that makes good money as a dog trainer. I just do. And that has people raving. I don't want to be the one that says, oh, we did a group class when he was young. It was so cool. What was the name of it? I have no idea. You know, that's their experience with the company. They just like you, and it was fun. And they went and did this group class and the dog sits and comes now. And that's about it. I don't want to be that company. I want to be the one getting bigger results. So it's all about positioning and learning copyright to do that. All right, last one. Sales channels. You have to have sales channels for this. We don't offer this. What's the right phrasing here? We use this to maximize the value of our leads. So let me explain what I mean by that. So all of us get leads to our business. That's somebody that fills out a form, gives us a call, sends an email. Those are all leads. Nobody sells 100% of those people. A lot of people, I know some people that have systems to where by the time they talk to them, it's almost 100%. But as far as like people that are interested versus people that buy, no one's at 100%. And so there's a gap, right? Now, you can take that gap and throw it away and lose money, or you can take that gap and try to sell them something else. And so that's how we use our group class, is that once a quarter, we do this group class, and we're going to make an extra bunch of money, once a quarter that wouldn't have been there without doing this. And we do the same thing, with other things. If we need one more boot camp for the month, we'll send it out to our email list or things like that. So you need to have sales channels in order to sell this. So number one is your email list. Now, if you don't have an email list, it's because you hate money. You don't have a book, you don't have a DVD program, you don't have an email list. Why do you hate money so much? All right, I'm trying to be a little bit facetious here, but the reality is I've been talking about email lists on this podcast for years. Email is Everyone's in love with social media, myself included. Email still outsells the crap out of social media. The amount of stuff purchased through email versus the amount of stuff purchased through social media isn't even, like, social media is not even significant. Email, and I'm talking like all industry, but like online commerce, email outsells social media by such huge numbers that the only reason you're not doing it is because you hate money. Now, people would say, I don't believe that. I never buy things in email. I don't care if you do or don't. But I know for a fact that a lot of people do, because every year I sell hundreds of thousands of dollars through email. Every year, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've sold millions of dollars worth of dog training through email. And so if you're going to tell me it doesn't work, I hope you live in Utah and that you're my competitor, because I know it works. Email works. And it works great if you do it right. Now, that's a whole other episode that maybe I should do that episode on how to do email right. But we segment our email list. And so when we go to do this, we segment and we say, okay, have you purchased, one of our programs? Well, we kick you out. So everyone in the past, usually 6 months or so, that hasn't purchased one of our programs but has been a lead, we start sending them a series of emails. Hey, we're doing this upcoming group class. And over the course of a few days to a week, we send them a handful of emails saying, oh, shoot, we've only got 3 slots left. The next day, oh, gosh, we've only got 1 slot left. Obviously, we're telling the truth. You don't want to lie on something like that. But we send them this series of emails saying, look, this group course is different. Look at these testimonials. Hey, watch this video. This is some really amazing stuff. Do you want in? Because there's only a few of them. And we only do this like every now and then. So do you want in? Oh, by the way, it's expensive and we're going to work you hard. And if you don't do it, we're going to kick you out and keep your money. Believe it or not, people love that. And so one of your sales channels should be your email list. And if you don't have an email list, start today. And not just like collecting emails that you send them through Gmail, but get an email autoresponder like MailChimp, like Drip, there's a bunch. Start looking, Aweber, there's a bunch out there. But that's the first channel that we go to. In fact, that's been the only channel that we've needed to fill our group courses. Other things that you can do, that I do for other things, just to give you some ideas, if you can't fill it with an email list, is call all of your unconverted leads. Say, hey, we've got this group class coming up. I know you didn't want to do, because our main course is $1,600. I know you didn't want to do the $1,600, but we've got this $900 course that's going to be amazing. Do you want in on that? And that's who buys this. People that didn't take the $1,600 one. You can even, if you've got a big enough list of unconverted leads, you can even do what's called RVM. I'm starting to experiment with this. It's pretty darn cool. Ringless voicemail. Just do a Google search on it. It's where you just upload your voicemail, you upload the numbers, and then in push of a button, you can send out 100 voicemails. And so, not everyone listens to voicemails, but, maybe 70 listen to it and maybe 5 of them went in, or whatever the case might be. And so, but that's a sales channel that you could be using, is ringless voicemail, RVM. Another one that you could be using could be retargeting people who came to your site. Now, here's the thing. So with a Facebook ad, let's say you were like, all right, cool, I'm going to use Facebook ads to do this. If you sent people, just random people in your community that are dog owners, which you can do that with Facebook ads, we would call that cold traffic. If you sent your ad to cold traffic on Facebook and said, hey, we got this $900 course, they're going to be like, no way, no thanks, no how. But if you send it to warm traffic, your conversion rates would likely go up. So warm traffic would be, hey, maybe somebody that came to your site and surfed around a little bit and they know a little bit about you. Now you can put a pixel on your site, a Facebook pixel, and that person, you can go back and send them an ad that says, hey, maybe you're interested in dog training. Check out this group course. Obviously do better copywriting than that. You could also do something like you could look and maybe you put a video on your Facebook page that was popular. You can go and see everyone. Well, you wouldn't be able to see it, but you can make a group of people who watch that video and send them an ad through Facebook and said, because that they're somewhat interested in what you're doing or dog training or whatever. And so that's another sales channel that you can use. Those are typically the channels that we use. We don't put it on the website. We want this to be something that captures people who didn't take the big ticket and sell them a lower big ticket. And so we use our email list that's been segmented. We use ringless voicemail, or we don't. Like I said, we use ringless voicemail for other stuff. But you could use ringless voicemail. You could use retargeting people that came to your site, things like that. I would not do a whole lot of cold traffic. When you're selling a big ticket item, cold traffic is not the way to go. Cold traffic is the way to go if you've got a free seminar coming up or a $20 nutrition seminar or something like that. That's better for cold traffic. But for a big ticket item, you want people that they're in your universe. They've come in contact with you. They've been to your website. They know who you are, maybe even like you, maybe even considered you, but didn't pull the trigger because it was too expensive or whatever the case might be. So, anyways, quick recap before I finish. If you were going to sell big ticket, there's 5 things that I believe you need. Maybe there's more, but there's 5 that I believe you need. Number 1, a signature program. Number 2, a way to create added value. Number 3, exclusivity. Number 4, positioning. And number 5, sales channels that you control. If you can do those things, you can have big ticket. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. Please go listen to the rest of my episodes because, like I say, I have a big ego and I really like when I see those big numbers of all these people that are listening to the show. So head over to PetLifeRadio.com, click on Six Figure Dog Business, listen to everything we've done. When you're done there, head over to TyTheDogGuy.com and check out the different cool things that we're doing and different consulting things that we do for business owners just like you. Thank you for listening. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.